China is clamping down on its internet sector. Not even the likes of e-commerce giant Alibaba are safe, with it receiving a record-breaking fine in April.
It sent shockwaves across the business world and the finance markets.
Beijing's competition regulator is dishing out fines and investigating some of the biggest names in the platform economy after issuing anti-monopoly guidelines that target internet platforms.
They have been able to carry out some very predatory practices, like you're only allowed to join them or nobody else.
Let's look at 5 of Beijing's highest profile targets. Firstly, there's the antitrust probe into Didi, just as the ride-hailing giant gears up for America's potentially largest IPO of the year. The investigation will see if it's guilty of uncompetitive practices that squeezed out smaller rivals, and whether the pricing mechanism used by Didi's core ride-hailing business is transparent enough, sources told Reuters. Alibaba got hit with a record $2.78 billion fine in April, after it was found guilty of abusing its dominant market position since 2015 by preventing merchants from using other online e-commerce platforms. The fine was about 4% of Alibaba's 2019 domestic revenue. China torpedoed the $37 billion listing of Alibaba fintech affiliate Ant Group in November. That came after company founder Jack Ma said the country's financial and regulatory system stifled innovation. Chinese regulators imposed a sweeping restructuring on the fintech giant, forcing it to turn itself into a financial holding firm. Tencent could face a penalty of at least $1.5 billion for anti-competitive practices and not properly reporting past acquisitions and investments for antitrust reviews. It's also been told it may have to give up exclusive music streaming rights and may even be forced to sell some of its acquired music apps. Regulators also launched an antitrust investigation into food delivery giant Meituan. It had an estimated 68.2% of China's food delivery market in the second quarter of 2020, according to trust data. So why is all of this happening now? Some analysts say the government fears they'll grow too powerful if left unchecked.
I think one message is clear. One, the government does not want to kill the internet giants. But 2, is even more important. The government wants absolute control over the media. They don't want these internet giants have too much control over the media and over the population. That's something that they don't want. Only the government will be allowed to have all this big data on the population. They don't want anybody else to have it, and they don't want anybody else to share it. I think this is the red line that the government indicated.